Apache Spark is super famous nowadays. A lot of data engineers, data scientists, and data analysts use it quite a lot. But unfortunately, many people know Spark only through textbook definitions. They hear things like Spark is a distributed processing engine, but they never clearly understand why does it even exist. Because if we can already write logic using Python, Pandas, Polars, DuckDB, SQL, or other programming languages, then what problem is Spark actually solving? Let's understand that with simple example. Let's say we have a file called reviews.txt. Inside this file, we have restaurant reviews like this. Now, let's say we have to count how many times each word appears in the file. And why would we count the words? Because even a simple word count can reveal what customers are talking about. If words like cold, late, refund, or delayed appear too many times, maybe customers are complaining about food delivery or food quality. If words like amazing, fresh, or fast appear often, maybe customers are happy. So, this is a simple version of what companies do all the time. That is, take raw data, process it, summarize it, and understand what is happening. For a small file, normal Python code like this is enough to do the word count program. This code opens the file, reads it line by line, splits each line into words, and stores the word count in a dictionary. For example, the final result may look like this. For a small file, this is absolutely perfect. Our laptop opens the file, reads the data, splits the words, updates the counts, and prints the result. Here, no Spark is needed. But now, imagine this is not just a small review file. Imagine a company like Amazon processing product clicks, orders, payments, returns, seller data, delivery events, and customer behavior. Or imagine Netflix processing watch history, searches, recommendations, playback events, device logs, and subscription activity. Or even imagine a large bank processing card transactions, fraud signals, account balances, risk checks, compliance reports, and customer activity. Now, we are not just counting words, right? We may have to join many datasets, clean messy records, aggregate billions of events, detect fraud, build dashboards, prepare machine learning features, reconcile financial data, or create daily business reports as well. And the data is not 10 MB anymore. It may be 10 GB, 500 GB, or 10 TB as well, or even thousands of files arriving every day. At that scale, our laptop becomes the bottleneck because it may not be able to read the data fast enough, or it may not have enough CPU power to process everything quickly, or it may not have enough memory to hold large intermediate results, or it may take hours, or it may fail in the middle. And if that one machine fails, the whole job fails as well. And this is where Spark enters. So instead of asking one machine to do everything, Spark spreads the work across a cluster. A cluster simply means a group of machines working together. Machine 1 may count words from chunk 1, machine 2 may count words from chunk 2, and machine 3 may count words from chunk 3. Then Spark combines the partial results into the final answer. So when we say Spark is distributed, this is what we mean. The work is not trapped inside one laptop or one single server. The work is divided across multiple machines, and this gives us parallel processing. Parallel processing means multiple pieces of work happen at the same time. That is the core idea. And Spark exists because one machine is not always enough, because not enough CPU, not enough memory, not enough read speed, not enough fault tolerance. Now, this does not mean Spark should be used everywhere. For small data, Spark adds unnecessary complexity. Normal Python may be enough, Pandas may be enough, Polars may be enough, or DuckDB may be enough. And to be honest, in many real cases, these tools are actually quite faster, easier, because they do not need a distributed cluster. Nowadays, it is fancy to say Spark or PySpark everywhere, but Spark should not be used just to look advanced. Spark becomes useful when the data size, processing time, reliability requirement, or business scale crosses what one machine can comfortably handle. That is why Spark became important in data engineering, because real-world data rarely stays small. Today, it may be one file, tomorrow, it may be millions of records, and next month, it may be terabytes of data as well. And after that, it may become daily pipelines, dashboards, ML features, fraud detection, customer analytics, finance reports, and business decisions as well. At that point, the problem is no longer can Python count words. The real problem is, can our data system process large data reliably, quickly, and repeatedly? That is where Spark fits. So when someone asks why does Spark exist, do not start with the buzzwords. Start with this. That is, a small dataset can be handled by one machine, but a huge dataset may need many machines. And Spark is the engine that coordinates those machines and makes distributed data processing possible. Now that we understand why Spark exists, the next question is, when we actually run PySpark code, who coordinates those machines and who does the work? That is where Spark architecture begins. And we'll talk about Spark architecture in the next video. Thank you for watching.